So if you're on the carnivore diet and you're still cooking in your non-stick, your Teflon pans and all that stuff, come on, are you really on the carnivore diet? I'm about to show you guys right now in this video one of the coolest skillets I have ever received. It is 100% cast iron, and it's made basically for meal prepping on the carnivore diet because it's a really large skillet. Let's check this skillet out, guys. You might want one. I'm not sponsored by this company, but I will tell you straight up front, they did send me this skillet absolutely free. But what's cool is I already had 2 of their skillets. Let me show you their first 2 skillets, and I'll unbox the new skillet and show you guys why I believe in this company, that they make a great product. And if you're wondering what the company's called, it's Stargazer cast iron. So really quickly before I show you the new one, this is my 10-inch Stargazer skillet, and it isn't perfectly seasoned because I don't use it as much as I use my 12-inch. I have a 12-inch Stargazer skillet right here, and I use it a lot. And what I love about these skillets is they're smooth as all get out. It's way smoother than like a Lodge skillet. And it also has a split in the handle right here, so it doesn't heat up as much on the handle when you're cooking on the stove top. But this is my 12-inch, so let me go show you guys the new behemoth. Alright, let's open this skillet together, y'all. They shipped it to my house, and I hadn't even seen it yet. Let's see, I gotta cut through here. I hadn't even seen this skillet yet, but I'm super excited. The reason I decided to review it is because I know that I love their other 2 skillets a lot, so I know they make a great product. This is their new one. This is their 13.5-inch Brazer. I believe it's 13.5-inch. I'll have to look. Oh, and they send you like a Stargazer logo. I'm going to be straight up with you. These are not the cheapest skillets in the world. If I think, I'll put a link to them, but I'm not getting paid by the link. But this is a skillet that will last you a lifetime, and your grandkids will be using it. They send you a little Stargazer sticker. I actually have one of these on my refrigerator inside. Another Stargazer thing, and then tips for using your cast iron skillet. They come pre-seasoned, and they're bronze colored with the pre-seasoning, but you can season them yourself. I forgot to mention, they are made in the USA. That is a massive skillet. I'm going to put it upside the other one and let you guys see it. I noticed right away, if you're worried about the cast iron being too heavy, it's really cool that it has 2 handles so it doesn't feel heavy, because normally you got one hand and you're trying to lift. It has really big handles, and it's got 2 of them. So that is super cool. That is amazing. And I realize camera will not do justice for how smooth that is. But this is like, it feels almost like the inside of a stainless steel skillet is so smooth. Where like a Lodge skillet's real rough, this is like a baby's butt. So let's just set them out on the table. Here's a 10-inch. Here's a 12-inch. And there's a 13.5-inch. I can set my 12-inch down inside of there. That is a massive skillet. Imagine the steaks you can cook. This is a meal prep machine right here. If you're on the carnivore diet and you like to cook lots of eggs, lots of bacon, lots of hamburger meat, check one of these out. They're not cheap, but this right here, you won't never have to buy it again for sure. What'd you say you want me to show you how to season it? Fine. I'll show you guys how to season it real quick. Now you could skip this step altogether since it comes pre-seasoned, but I like to take me a little napkin and get it seasoned better. And the secret to doing that is getting you some oil. This is Wagyu tallow. Just rubbing it on a napkin. Coat the whole skillet. I'm going to go ahead and set my oven to 450 degrees. Get your oven set to 450 degrees, and you want to let it go for an hour, at least an hour, once it gets up to 450 degrees. But let's just coat the whole skillet inside and outside with tallow, and it's going to help it get a better seasoning, and it'll help you in the long run. Make sure you get the edges too, but make sure you don't go too thick. You want to, once you get all this on here, you want to go back over it with another napkin maybe and wipe off as much as you can, because you don't want oil dripping in your stove and you don't want it to make your skillet look blotchy. All right, let's do the back too. That's a beautiful skillet, y'all. A little bit more tallow. You want the whole thing to get that tallow and get in the oven. Oven's coming up to temp. Don't start your hour timer until your oven's up to temp. You don't have to do it at 450. I just do it at 450. You want it high so that the oil will, you know, stick to the pan. Alright, let's toss it in the oven, and I do it face down so it doesn't look clumpy on the inside. Let me wipe it just a little bit more. Wipe some of that excess out of there. You don't want much in there at all. Alright, so I'm going to put it face down in the oven and let it come up to temp with the oven, and then start my timer. So I can't be too loud because Abigail's taking a nap right now. But after it went an hour, I turned the oven off and let the oven rest. Let it come down to temp on its own. You can do this more and more as often as you want. But, pull it on out of here. Look at there. It doesn't look like it's got like goopiness all over it because I wiped it down good before I put it in there. If you put tons of oil and leave it, it'll make a mess in your oven. Now this is what, like a number 12 field skillet. This is a field company cast iron skillet. Also a tremendous skillet. One of my good friends bought me this skillet recently. This is a 12-inch skillet on the stovetop, and this is a 13.5-inch. So you imagine how many eggs and stuff you could fit in that, or you could fit multiple steaks, 2-3 steaks easy in here to meal prep at the same time. So here's my number 12, and like I said, it's got that handle that splits so they stay cool for longer. Now of course if they're in the oven, this is going to get really hot, but things I notice, and I'm not trying to do a comparison of these two right now, but like this field, one thing I love about it is it's a little bit lighter if you want a little bit lighter skillet. But things I like about this one, it's so smooth. It's a little bit smoother than the field, but both of these, compared to like a Lodge skillet, these are like phenomenal. And they also don't have to have drip areas right here because they have a natural lip to them, so you can, you know, your grease can drip off easily. They're both phenomenal skillets. It's all in what you're looking for. And I also use carbon steel, but the thing that I like about cast iron and carbon steel is these skillets will last forever. Like my grandkids will be using this skillet. They're going to be using this skillet way after I'm dead and gone because it's built to last generations. And now I'm in a skillet showing mood. So here's my oldest skillet. This skillet was made in 1905. It's called a Erie, which is Griswold before Griswold was a company, or before it was called Griswold. See how it's got pour spouts on it? This is really smooth too compared to like a Lodge skillet. Phenomenal cooking skillet, and they're very lightweight too, but you're gonna have a hard time finding one of these. This is, I treasure this skillet, and I'll never get rid of it unless it goes to Abigail when she's older. Now this is one you might be able to find. This is a number 7 Griswold. It's a large block logo Griswold. Phenomenal skillet also. And these, I believe, are from the 1930s. Some of them were from the 1940s. But this is an old cast iron skillet. I love cooking with cast iron and taking care of it, and it's just going to last forever. I haven't cooked in this one in a while, or that area. I need to break them out soon. But I can also toss them on the smoker. As a matter of fact, I might make a video and cook something on the smoker in a cast iron skillet, because you can do just about anything with these skillets. Alright, last skillet that I'm going to show y'all. This is a Marion, which is also like an old Griswold. It says Marion right here. This is a number 8. It had some rough pitting on the back of it, but it's perfectly fine. It's just because these skillets, when they were designed years ago, they were used over wood stoves and it would get real hot. But the inside of it is super smooth. It needs a little bit more love. It needs a little bit more seasoning. But this thing right here, you can cook eggs in it, whatever you want, and it's a phenomenal cooking skillet as well. And this one's probably also not this one's probably earlier teens or something like that. I'll have to research it again, but it's a very, very old skillet. That's the last one I'll show y'all today. So am I telling y'all, members of the carnivore community, that you got to go out and get one of those particular skillets? Absolutely I am. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not telling you that you have to do that. I like to think of skillets like that more of like if you want the best, the very best in the world. Like you can use like your Lodge skillet, and you can use other skillets, other cast iron skillets that work great, and that are like $25, $30, something like that. But when you get into skillets like these, you notice that they become more non-stick. They're a lot of times lighter. The Stargazer's a little heavier than your field skillet, but it's still lighter than like a Lodge skillet, and it makes it a little bit easier to handle, and it's got just improvements upon like a normal cast iron skillet. And I'm not saying everybody has to go grab one, but when I cook on a Lodge skillet versus whenever I cook on something like a Stargazer or a field cast iron, you can tell the difference immediately. It's like cooking on a Corolla. I mean, driving a Corolla car or a Camry or something like that. They're great cars. For a long time I drove a Honda Accord, and they're great vehicles. But then these skillets are more like, you know, some of your luxury vehicles where they have different things on them, bells and whistles, and they've just figured out ways to make things a little bit better. But your Lodge skillet, if that's what you want to use, it's great. But I will say, I am excited to own those skillets because I don't really use my Lodge skillets anymore. I can't tell you the last time I cooked in a Lodge cast iron skillet. I have an old Lodge that I like, but a lot of my newer Lodge stuff that you get at Walmart and different places, it's not like cooking in that stuff. And that stuff has a resale value, and especially that Airy and the Griswolds and Wagner and all those different brands. You can sell that stuff later on down the road if you find it. Like I found that Airy. I bought that Airy from someone, but I found that Marion cast iron skillet. I found it at a antique store. But like in 50 years, I can turn around and sell that for some money if I actually needed to. But I don't plan on selling those skillets because they all have a special place in my heart. Memories. There's different memories cooking different things on those skillets. But like your Lodge skillet from Walmart, in 50 years, everybody had that skillet, and you know, you can build the memories with it, but I don't think you'll have the resale value on something like that. And yeah, this video was different, and I hope y'all still enjoyed it. And for those of you that stuck with me throughout this whole video, thank you. It's different than your normal carnivore topic, but I definitely appreciate it. And I'm not going to make every video like this, but for that company to send me the skillet for free of charge, and I've already believed in their company and had 2 of their skillets for the past like 4 years, it meant a lot to me that they would send it to me. So shout out Stargazer. Thank you so much for sending that skillet, and I'm going to enjoy cooking on it. It's going to be awesome. I'll make some more videos cooking on it, and you know, using it on the grill and using it on the stove and stuff like that. But shout out to you guys for sending me that skillet. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing y'all with my next update video. about my carnivore journey and about getting towards that 5K. Love you guys. God bless.